are some type of the things that were able to allow you to keep rolling inside the industry, besides making a new album?
I mean, I was blessed with a little bit of hustle, man. I just kept some money around me, and I knew how to keep my pockets from being hurt. I was fortunate to be able to keep doing what I was doing by my entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? I just ended up hooking up with a guy from a radio station in the Valley. His name Jake De La Rosa. Shout out to Jake De La Rosa.
You said the Valley means Stockton, Sacramento?
Yeah, it was like I think it was Fresno, some station in Fresno or something. I can't bank on that, but it was Hot 105. So he was on the radio. I was out there working, just doing some part-time work.
Living out there?
Nah, I was just doing some work. My sister worked for some apartments. She got me a job doing some little maintenance work. I know how to work with my hands. My grandfather raised me well and taught me what he needed to teach me. I was building some patios and stuff for some people out there for apartments. Ended up running into this cat. He had some music going. I knew it was somebody making a beat, and it was a dope little beat. Ended up going up to the apartment, acting like I'm looking for something or something. On some slick shit. I knew who he was because I used to pass his car, and then I seen this the radio thing on the shit, and it just said who he was. And I listened, this the KMEL of the Valley. While I was out there, this is what I was listening to.
So this is the big station that everybody listens to.
This the Love Doc. This dude had plugs. He got Eminem coming up to the station and 50, and I'm pleasured to be in this dude's presence. So I ended up meeting him. I was like, I do music. He was up there making a beat. I'm busted at. He was like, come here, let me hear what you got. If you got something, we'll record something. I just ended up staying out there, back and forth, recording. Shout out to my guy, Wes. It was me and Wild West and a few other people. We ended up making the Hard Hitters out. That was like 03.
I heard that name before, but it was definitely after 03.
That's when it was getting made. I put out. That was like a group thing.
Who was involved in that?
It was Jake De La Rosa making a lot of the beats. Minty. Shout out to my guy Minty. It was me, Wes. Then we'd just get some artists that was like, hey, I could rap. And it ended up running into this guy from Biloxi, Mississippi. Shout out to Shock the World, man. I wish I knew who he was, but this dude, you talking about how they be rapping nowadays, these younger cats, bro? This dude was already rapping like that. This dude was on some Lil Wayne. He was on some Hot Boys type shit, but it was like dope. Like, he was from Mississippi. It's a whole different kind of flow with it. So he was one of the artists. Shout out to my boy Danger. He also from Mississippi. They was living in the Valley. So it was me, Wild West, Danger, and Shock the World with Minty and Jake De La Rosa making the beats. Hard Hitters.
Started in 2003.
And that was the name of the album too. I think that ended up coming out in 04, 05, something like that.
Okay, that's probably around 05, around time I heard it. This is even years later from the last time you expressed what the culture was like. Where's the culture of music? Who's on top?
At that time, talking 04, 05, at that time, Sick was still banging. It was a group called Never Leave. They was killing it with that lyrical warfare. Everybody was on that shit, man. And that was Band-Aid. I forgot all of the other members' names. Shout out to G-Boy, though. They was yanking it that time.
It was.
I mean, it was Totally Insane, Never Legal, it was Sick, it was Scoop. They was the top right there. And C-Funk. They was the top.
Mac and AK.
Oh, excuse me. Let me bag up, because they was killing it, bro. And they was on some real good money.
Yeah, they was definitely on
rapping
a lot of soundtracks.
They was getting in movie soundtracks. Yeah. At that time, bro, I was just hard grinding. CD, press CD.
Right.
Getting them out to people, like just getting my name out. I was doing shows with Money Quest. They was the ones always looked out for me. Shout out to Mar, bro. Like Money Quest, that's my guy. You feel me? Definitely support me. They was pushing Cockhounds hard, but they was definitely made sure we always had a spot on shows,
right,
and letting us know when something would happen. Because we was recording a lot there.
Was that on C Street?
Yep.
How did you make money off the music at that time?
I just pressed some CDs and sell them for $5.
Like out the trunk.
Yep.
So it's like independent hustle.
Yep. I put my little slit up in there. Boom, 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 boom. And I just got my name out there, bro. And ended up making the dough I was making off of it. I didn't get rich or nothing, but I was selling music and I was selling it in different places. I started with Jake De La Rosa and the Hard Hitter. I started getting shows places, like not in California. After I left Jake, with the music that he and I made, I had solos on this album. I took the solo, and this the birth of Reverb Nation. It's an app you can get, or for all them artists out there, subscribe to Reverb Nation, and if you pay your dues and your premiums on it, and you got some good music, and submit it, they book you. and they pay your flight and your stay, and they'll pay you to get on shows and do your little thing. I was always on my stuff.
2006,
That tech hit.
2005, person could get a whole studio for $1,000,
Yeah.
$2,000 maybe. We were discussing earlier, a chord cost you 7 racks. How did that affect you, and how did that change your game or evolve your game or develop it?
It made it easier because now all I needed was a computer, a little board, and be able to have somebody to make some beat. I write crazy. I write in like 5 minutes. I write a song in like 5 minutes. So I mean, I've always been fast with my music. It might not be perfect, but I get it done. And man, I was just crashing it out, pressing my own stuff. Then it became totally independent. Like I was telling you earlier, the tech was coming. You feel me? So now the tech is here.
So we talking about, when you say tech, we talking about digital music, online platforms, things like that. Now we're going into digital copyrights. Did that confuse you any? Did you have to learn the game all over again, or what was there? What was going on?
I was fortunate. People I was around at that time was explaining to me about this. They was telling me, you gotta get on this tech thing. You gotta get on this tech thing. This is these sites. This thing called MySpace that came out.
Let them know what MySpace was.
MySpace, our first Facebook, but MySpace, it was a little thing to where you could chat with people, converse. It was like Facebook before Facebook. Then MySpace, when that worked out, after a year, they came out with MySpace Music. And then after they came out with MySpace Music, I put my music up on there, and this was totally for sale. And if you had hundreds of friends, they could download it and it count as sales. This ended up going crazy, and I'm talking about I had like 5,000-6,000 people on this thing.
That right.
All of them was fucking.
Okay.
It was 2 years on MySpace Music. I think I released 2 albums on it, and those did really good download-wise, bro. Like, really good. As an independent artist, it was just hella cool, because, I mean, like I said, after the whole MySpace thing happened, I got introduced to a site called Reverb Nation.
Okay.
It was a website, basically damn near like Nifty. If you got some good music, they'll help you pay a little fee or whatever, premium fee, to get their service, but you end up getting shows. If you got good music, you submit your music to these certain events. It went with the event. It was hip hop or whatever, and your music was good. They was grabbing you.
Okay.
And these people is paying you.
Who were the people that were presenting these different little perks for you?
Different, what would you call it, management companies that was throwing these events. We went to Green Fest. I done did Green Fest. That was in Boston. I done did the Greek Fest in Atlanta. I done did Southwest by Southwest in Texas. I done did Taste of Chicago.
So if you put your music on this platform, it'll get like national exposure?
Yeah,
people from all over every state.
If you got good music, they gonna make sure you get in front of a crowd that's gonna give you that. Who is this dude? And after that, you know what I'm saying? More people start to know. Computers was hot, so it was like you had a little computer, you can go online and do this and that, make some moves, get something cheaper, or even promote yourself. They used to have this thing called chat line. And I used to be on the chat line promoting my music then. And this is how I was getting my music to people that I didn't know, wasn't in my area, but they end up actually going to look it up